Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Nicola Sturgeon claimed the other day that she had no relevant information on her WhatsApp regarding the COVID. There were no communications about it, that sort of thing. She made this absolute claim that that was the case. Previously, of course, she's been sent a do not destroy letter. This is a legal advice telling her not to delete any messages off her WhatsApp on her phone, to not change anything, to not even take the app off the phone. It must be remaining there and be ready to be inspected. And she's been told that she must not do anything to this information because they know, despite her lies that she says there was no information about this, they know there is, because of course they've seen the other end of the message. So they know that this is the case despite her saying that there isn't. So we're going to take a look now. The advice that's been given to her, what's going to happen, and what could happen, I suppose, if she does fail to, preserve the evidence, because destroying evidence in a criminal trial is a very, very serious offence. Here goes. So, Nicola Sturgeon has been warned not to delete the pandemic WhatsApp messages by a top lawyer. The former First Minister is at the centre of a furious row after claiming to have no relevant communications to release to a public inquiry she's due to give evidence to. And there she is in wiser days before. Oh look, she's actually on her phone there, furiously deleting messages perhaps. Who knows? Nicola Sturgeon has been warned by the COVID-bereaved family's lawyers that they know for a fact she has WhatsApp's messages relating to the pandemic. The former First Minister is at the centre of a furious row after claiming to have no relevant communications to release to the public inquiry she's due to give evidence to within weeks. The solicitor, Ayma Anwar, has said that deleting material could be a criminal offence and has asked the Information Commissioner to launch an investigation. He has spoken out as he prepares to go to London with campaigners who lost loved ones for the opening of the UK COVID inquiry on Tuesday. Now, these inquiries are going to let a lot of cats out of a lot of bags, and there's a lot of people who are very, very worried because when it comes out about the certain things they did, when they were in possession of facts and still did them or still omitted to do them, it will all come down to basically there could be a lot of, put it this way, there could be a lot of court cases and a lot of money changing hands, and some of these cases will be done not against the government, but where it's shown that an individual has known the facts and has made a decision that has been damaging whilst in possession of those facts. That individual can be sued. This is the health and safety law. You see, in health and safety, you don't just sue the organisation, it's every single person in it is also liable. And that is going to cause a lot of very puckered bottoms. They'll be sitting on those benches, and a lot of people who made decisions will be going, oh dear. Anyway, Sturgeon is due to give evidence along with her former First Deputy Minister John Swinney, shamed former Chief Medical Officer Catherine Calderwood, and ex-Health Minister Jeane Freeman. But the ministers and officials both at Westminster and Holyrood have not handed over personal online messages because they dare not. They absolutely dare not, because they know that by doing so they could end up in prison. I mean, this is how serious it is for these people. One only has to look at why they were putting people known to have COVID into care homes. One of the theories that's come out is it was done knowingly so they could basically use the ill to knock off the elderly. And see a vast number of elderly people suddenly, expiring and bringing down care costs, bringing down pension costs, all sorts of things. It was used basically as a cull. They were culling the numbers. Anwar wrote to the Scottish Information Commissioner's office. He said, if Miss Sturgeon is saying that she has no messages, then that cannot be the end of the matter. We know for a fact that Miss Sturgeon and other ministers have used WhatsApp for several years, including the years during the pandemic. We have been advised that in August 2022, to ensure that WhatsApp material was not lost nor destroyed, the Scottish COVID-19 inquiry issued do not destroy letters. We are aware the ICO office has warned officials deleting messages that could relate to investigations into the alleged COVID-19 rule-breaking parties at 10 Downing Street and other departments is a criminal offence. Once they've received those notes, if they delete those messages, they are breaking the law. They are at that point liable to go to jail for the destruction of evidence, which is absolutely a massively serious crime. Perversion of justice in any form is a serious crime. This could result in years of jail time. The UK government is going to court to try to avoid having to release the WhatsApps of its ministers and officials. A total of 16,465 people in Scotland have died with COVID since the outbreak began in March 2020. The UK government is not strictly the one that's going to court to prevent it. It's Rishi Sunak is desperate to prevent them, because not just the COVID stuff, but also his plans began back then with his plans to take out Boris to become leader himself. That is why he wants these things to not go out, because he knows that the evidence is there. Now, the Boris thing won't send him to jail, but it will destroy him in the eyes of the Tory party. But I think there will also be a lot of messages that will have been passed around by senior officials and by MPs saying one thing while they did another thing for political reasons, and that will have ended up with people dying, and at that point these people are going to jail, and they know it. Public inquiries are likely to focus on the decision making behind policies that allowed infected patients to be sent for to care homes, as I've mentioned. Anwar, lead solicitor for the Scottish COVID bereaved, said on Tuesday, "As I take my seat at the UK inquiry, it will be over 3 years since the first death from COVID-19. Since then, nearly 250,000 people have died as our leaders presided over a carousel of chaos. In the coming weeks and months, the mantra for some of our leaders will be the word hindsight. But our governments had the privilege of knowing what was coming for years. Across the UK, thousands felt marginalised, betrayed, lied to, as their cries went unheard. It is for those dead who cannot cry out for justice that the bereaved families fight." And there he is. He's leading this. We've got to treat this guy as a national hero now, because he is the one that is going to take all these self-righteous pricks in, MPs and officials, all standing there telling us, close this down, put a mask on, do that. We're stopping you seeing your relatives. We're going to have people kept away, families ripped asunder. If you want the one image, the Queen sitting burying Philip, sitting alone. That's what these bastards did. And he is holding a light up to them. And that light is going to burn them so brightly, they will be going to jail just lots of... I just hope every single one of them goes to jail. So, Anwar, we wish all power to your elbow. Take these bastards and roast them. Every single one. And I'm coming up. They really do not like the idea of having this evidence out there. This is why the government are going to court. They need to stop the evidence being released, because they know it will sink them permanently. And beyond that, they know it will lead to criminal cases. There will be compensation claims going in. This will amount to billions of pounds, but it won't just be against the government. It will be compensation from the individuals. And these MPs will be forced to sell houses, forced to give up everything they have if this goes through, because the health and safety laws are very, very strict, and they are almost impossible to beat. And if it is shown that they knew what they were doing and they still did it, then they are personally liable. And that is what's so delicious about this. It will give them a taste of their own medicine. We, the people, will speak, and we will destroy them as they tried to destroy us. It's about time, and I hope it's all going to come out. I will be following all these trials, both the Scottish one and the English one, the UK one. We're doing regular reports on it as and when it starts on Tuesday. It's probably going to be a daily thing, I don't know, but we'll look at this every day, see what's going on, see the revelations, because revelations there most definitely will be. It will come out that people did things, that people said things, that people forced others to do things, not because it was the right thing to do, but because it was the politically right thing to do. I hope they're running scared, and I hope that they are absolutely cacking their breeches, because I want this to happen, and so I think do you. So thank you for watching. Do hit the subscribe button. Follow this. I will be doing the report on this as and when everything comes up. We're following all this story because this will be massive. And I will stop there. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Let's keep these people, I'll be polite, let's keep these people under the spotlight and make sure justice is finally served. Thank you and goodbye.